Let's go over the best way to build a car for performance if you don't want to have to do things more than once. And there's a very big reason for this channel that I've planned this all out now, and I'll talk more about that when I get back from China. Phase 1, immediately when you get the car, there's really no reason to wait on any of this. Go ahead and do your reliability mods. Go ahead and replace any bad parts. Go ahead and add oil coolers, any kind of baffled reservoirs you might need for your car. Look up anything that your car needs to be reliable in a performance setting. And almost every car is going to need some kind of brake upgrade, usually at least pads and fluid. Now, phase 2 is weight reduction, but this is going to be optional and more for non-daily drivers or non-street cars. You want to do this up front because it's going to affect the balance of your car, and there's really no reason to wait on this if you're going to do it anyways. Now, after phase 2, it's probably best to go ahead and get some seat time in the car on the track because it's good to know what the balance of the car feels like before you go ahead and start modifying anything else. Phase 3 is your initial suspension mods. This is going to be coilovers or springs and dampers and control arms needed to get your alignment into spec. Now, the most important decision here is going to be what spring rates your coilovers are designed around, and that's why we did the weight reduction up front, because that's going to affect the weight and weight distribution of the car, which might affect what spring rates you use front to rear. That saves you from having to redesign your coilovers later down the road. So go ahead and throw those on the car, give yourself a 1 to 2 inch drop from OEM height, and then go get an alignment based off of what you're seeing on the forums or people on the track with your car. There's no way you're going to be able to guess what your perfect alignment is going to be up front, so just use something as a baseline. Now, phase 4 is going to be wheels and tires. First, pick what tire size you want, and you can look on the forums to see what people are running with your car if you don't know, and then go ahead and pick your wheel size. Maybe you want a certain offset to bring your track width out a little bit and make sure your tires don't hit your fenders, and you also need enough clearance to not interfere with your inner wheel well or your brakes, and you might want to consider a square tire and wheel setup at this point. Now, phase 5 is where we're going to do a final correction to the steering balance of the car using sway bars. Because we already did weight reduction, coilovers, and maybe changed our tire size ratio from front to rear, so those all affected the steering balance of the car, so you want to put that final correction in with sway bars. If the car is now too oversteery, you have to go ahead and increase the front sway bar size, and if it's too understeery, go ahead and increase the rear sway bar size. You should be doing a lot of testing between each of these steps, at least before you do the sway bar change. Or if the car feels great, don't do sway bars, there's no reason to. Now, phase 6 is going to be your power modifications, which is probably just going to be moderate bolt-ons and a tune. If you do anything else more extreme than that, you're going to throw off the weight balance of your car, which you might have to go back and redo some of the steps. But do this and then go test the car, and then maybe you have more issues arising from this increase in power, like your brakes are now not strong enough, or you have some reliability issues. So throw these bolt-on mods, go tune it, and then go correct anything that you need to. And then phase 7, which is going to be the last phase for a moderate car build, especially if it's like a daily driver, is to go ahead and corner balance your car now that you figured everything else out and realign based off of how your tires have been wearing on the track. And this is going to kind of wrap everything up from what we did in the past 6 steps. Now, if you proceed deeper into the car, the remaining steps are going to be things like boosting, engine swaps, aero, trans and differential swaps, race car interior. But at this point, you're probably going to want a daily driver car on the side so that you don't have to have such a complicated car that you're driving to work. So before proceeding any farther, decide if you want this car to still be your daily or not.